bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 million bag, that's a big number. Big number.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought they could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all. Dash, honey, y'all, dash, honey, y'all, dash, honey, y'all, dash, yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the...
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready? Blue wave. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Hey. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Check. Crack now. Flip it. Let him go.
First down, Winston. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Check. Here we go, even.
This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
On the Seahawks 38-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun. Winston. Being chased out left. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Jameis to throw it. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 4th down, and the Bucs trot out the former 49er Bradley Pinion to punt it. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you get the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Wait. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Out of his end zone, Winston. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
54 right there. 54 Mike. Watch the curve. Hey, watch that. Check behind.
Winston. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
First quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. pulled in at the 24. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hey, 12. Rush in. 18.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. This is Carson. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Alert.
First and goal at the 6-yard
Gotta go, right now. Let's go.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This is caught, and he is out of bounds here. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside. Ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the 2nd foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Nick Ballore, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 22-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Winston buying time to his left. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take it with
The second-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Only one way to describe Ronald Jones' rookie season with Tampa Bay, and that's disappointing. Drafted to be their lead runner, just 23 carries on a team that ranked 29th in the NFL in rushing.
Here we go, D. Get off the field. Green, come to D.
From the 41, Winston over the middle to Evans. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And the Buccaneers first down.
Ready. White 25.
Winston now from the 50. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up second down.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Winston. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
On 2nd down and 4, Wilson is going to fire one deep and got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10.
14.
They run it with Carson, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
A gain of 19 yards.
19.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
On second and 10. Wilson eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Check 50, check 50.
From the shotgun, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Brings up second and 4 at the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now second and 4 from the 31. And they try to sweep to Jones. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
You ready? You ready? Flip, flip, flip. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Flip, flip, flip. Check, flip. Let me go. Check, play,
Winston on 3rd and 2. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 44 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
25-yard line.
Ready? Black 22. 54 miles.
On 2nd and 12, Winston. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
He gets slap happy up here sometimes. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes the Buccaneer kicker, Matt Gay.
A 31-yard attempt.
Gay's kick is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Ready? 125. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Switch, switch, switch. Wait. Check 25. Check 25. Check 20. Check.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Big Al Woods there to make the tackle. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ready? Black 25 behind. 54.
They go play action. Winston Sliding out of the pocket, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long.
Hey, 5-0. Don't get nervous.
Throwing, Winston. Preparing this one out for Evans. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, Tedrick Thompson picks it. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Dancing to his left. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Big Dwayne Brown, the tackle, guilty there. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy. Tries to hit Jennings, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie linebacker from LSU, Devin White. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Ready? Black 25. Watch the screen.
Following the interception, Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
To throw, Winston. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Now here's the timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Gay knocks this one through. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
This is taken at his 4. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson escaping the pressure right. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Forced out to his left. And he fires one, but incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Fielded at the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
At their own 33-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Breaking that one up was Justin Evans. Read it perfectly. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Wilson. Going to throw again. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Wilson throwing again. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Jennings. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And he's got his target. That's more. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on third down. Throwing is Wilson. He lets it fly for Rocket. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Flushed out right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 26.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there in that scramble.
This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Check 37, check 37. Check. One left.
On second down now, it's Carson. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys in the cornerback position.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. This is Jones. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
It's a gain of 2 yards.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready. White 25. White 5-4. Rip right. Rip right. Check 43. Easy. Hey, let's go.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward.
Get him, boys. Get him, boys.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Get him all. Check 99. Check 99.
First down, Winston. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Peyton Barber was the intended target, but it's going to be second down.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Well, a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Barber on 1st and 10. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Here's 2nd and 9. Just a yard on that last run. From the gun, Winston. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Winston now from the 50. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. 25 yards that time. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
in need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Open man. It's the man. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. Yeah, the Seahawks, they're able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 9 yards on the run there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Here's Winston. He's going to let it fly. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucks. Mike Evans, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bucks are able to close the gap just a bit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. He's going to look deep for more. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays? Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 24 yards. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Steps away to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Ready? 54
Mike. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Now Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, second and a yard. Now Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Hey, watch the slip. Watch the slip. Check nickel.
Come on. Come back.
Winston. Setting up the screen here, it's Barber. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second and 1. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them.
56 check 56. Here we go. Mike 56. Mike 50.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
One last shot now for Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Seahawks, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.